Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Without wasting any time, let's jump into the story.
The first time I saw Lily Carter again, she was standing in the middle of Main Street in Willow Creek, arguing with a parking meter like it had personally offended her. "Are you kidding me?" she muttered, jabbing at the rusted coin slot. "You take quarters but not dimes. Who even carries quarters anymore?" I did. I had an entire cup holder full of them in my truck because the meters in Willow Creek hadn't changed since 1987. I hadn't changed much either. "Still fighting lost causes?" I called out, leaning against the door of my father's hardware store. She froze. For a second, I saw the girl I'd known at 17, the one who wore paint on her jeans and dreams in her eyes. Then she turned. "Ethan Brooks?" Her voice had the same music in it. It hit me harder than I expected. "In the flesh." She looked me up and down. "You got taller." "I didn't. You feel taller." "That's just confidence," I said. "Owning half a block in this town does that." She laughed, and God help me, I'd missed that sound. 10 years earlier, Lily and I had spent a summer building plans that were too big for Willow Creek. We'd lie on the hood of my truck at Miller's Hill, watching the sky bleed pink over the river. "I'm leaving," she'd said one night, tracing constellations with her finger. "New York, Chicago, somewhere loud and bright." "And I had hesitated. "You'll stay," she'd said gently. She wasn't wrong. My father's heart had given out that fall. The hardware store became mine before I was ready. Lily left 2 months later with a scholarship and a suitcase that looked too small for her dreams. We promised to write. We didn't. Now she stood on Main Street in a crisp white blouse, dark jeans, and heels that didn't belong in Willow Creek. "You look," I started. "If you say different, I swear." "Like you're arguing with a parking meter," I finished. She rolled her eyes. "Help me, Brooks." I walked over and dropped 2 quarters into the machine. It blinked awake like magic. "You always did fix things," she said softly. "Not everything." The words hung between us. She looked away first. "I'm back for the summer. My mom's having surgery. Just routine, but she needs help." "That's good." "Not the surgery, the help." "I know what you meant." "So, New York?" "Chicago, actually," she said. "Marketing firm, big clients, big buildings, big everything." And I'm tired." That surprised me. "You?" I asked. "Miss Big Everything?" She shrugged. "Turns out everything isn't the same as enough." I didn't know what to say to that, so I said, "Welcome home." Over the next few weeks, we fell into an old rhythm like it'd been waiting for us. She'd stop by the store in the afternoons. At first, she claimed it was to buy light bulbs or picture hooks for her mom, but by the 3rd visit, she didn't even pretend. "You don't stock emotional stability, do you?" she asked one day, hopping onto the counter. "Aisle 5, right between duct tape and denial." "Perfect, I'll take 2. I smiled, but something in her expression flickered. She looked unsure. "Everything okay?" I asked. "Yeah," she said quickly. "Just thinking. Dangerous habit." She kicked my leg lightly. "Shut up." The bell over the door jingled as Mrs. Donnelly walked in. Lily slid off the counter. "Ethan, sweetheart, are you going to fix that porch railing today?" Mrs. Donnelly demanded. "Yes, ma'am." "And who's this?" she asked, peering at Lily. "Lily Carter," Lily said with a smile. "Back in town." Mrs. Donnelly gasped. "Little Lily, Ma, you've grown." "Apparently taller," Lily muttered under her breath. Mrs. Donnelly winked at me. "You two still making trouble?" "Trying not to," I said. "Don't try too hard," Mrs. Donnelly replied, waddling toward the paint section. When the door closed behind her, Lily turned serious. "Does everyone still see us as a package deal?" she asked. I hesitated. Some things don't change around here. Maybe they should. One evening, I found her at Miller's Hill. She was sitting on the hood of her rental car, staring at the horizon. "Thought I'd find you here," I said. "You always did?" I joined her, careful not to crowd her. "Do you ever regret it?" she asked. "Regret what?" "Staying." The question wasn't accusatory. It was curious. "Sometimes," I admitted, "mostly when the roof leaks or the furnace breaks or I see pictures of you in some skyline I don't recognize." She winced. "I didn't mean to send those." "You don't have to apologize for living your life, Lil." She was quiet for a while. "I thought success would feel louder," she said finally. "I thought it would drown out doubt. And it doesn't." The sun dipped lower. The air cooled.
I used to think leaving was brave, she continued. Now I'm not sure if staying might be braver. You think I'm brave? I think you're loyal. That's not the same thing. No, she said softly. It's better. I turned to look at her. The wind lifted her hair, brushing it against my cheek. Why did we stop writing? She asked suddenly. I swallowed. Because every letter felt like proof you were moving on. Her breath caught. I thought you were the one moving on. To what? I asked. The paint aisle? She laughed, but her eyes shone. I missed you, she said. The words landed heavy and honest. I'm right here, I replied. That's the problem. Before I could ask what she meant, she leaned forward and kissed me. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't fireworks. It was familiar, like coming home after a long day and finding the porch light on. When we pulled apart, her forehead rested against mine. We shouldn't, she whispered. Probably not. But I want to. So do I. The sun turned indigo around us. We didn't tell anyone. Willow Creek had a way of turning glances into gossip in under an hour. But secrets in a small town are like storms. You can feel them building. One afternoon, my sister, Abby, cornered me behind the store. So, she said, crossing her arms, you and Lily? What about me and Lily? She was at Sunday dinner? She's friends with Mom. She sat next to you, and you passed her the mashed potatoes like they were fragile glass. I sighed. It's complicated. It was complicated 10 years ago, Abby said. Now it's just overdue. What if she leaves again? Then at least you'll know you've tried. I hated that she was right. A week later, Lily showed up late, eyes red. What happened? I asked, guiding her into the back office. Chicago called, she said. They want me back. Big campaign. Promotion. That's good. It is. She didn't sound convinced. When? I asked. 2 weeks. The room felt smaller. Do you want to go? I asked carefully. I don't know, she said, frustration cracking her voice. I worked so hard for this, Ethan. I wanted this. And now? And now I'm scared that if I leave again, I'll lose you. You don't have me, I said gently. Not unless you choose me. She stared at me like I'd handed her something fragile. That's not fair, she whispered. Neither is asking me to wait. Her eyes filled. I would never ask that. But that's what it feels like. Silence stretched between us. I don't want to be the girl who needs a man to feel complete. I don't want to be the man who keeps you from your dreams. What if my dream changed? She asked. Then you owe it to yourself to find out if it really did. She looked at me like I'd just broken her heart. Maybe I had. The town held its annual summer fair the following Saturday. I was in charge of the grill. Lily ran the raffle booth. We barely spoke all day. Around dusk, fireworks were set up by the river. You're avoiding me, she said without turning. Trying to give you space. I don't want space. The first firework cracked open the sky in red. I turned down the promotion, she said. I blinked. You what? I told them I needed time, maybe permanently. Lily, let me finish, she said, facing me. I realized something this week. I've been chasing bigger and better for so long that I never asked what actually makes me happy. And it's not skyscrapers. Another explosion lit her face gold. It's community, she said. It's knowing the lady at the grocery store. It's helping my mom after surgery. It's you. My heart thudded. You're sure? I asked. I'm terrified, she admitted, but I'm sure. The fireworks boomed overhead. I don't want to be brave alone anymore, she said. I want to build something with you. I stepped closer. Willow Creek isn't glamorous, I warned. I don't need glamorous, she replied. I need real. And if you wake up in 5 years and hate me for this, then that's on me, not you. I combed her face. I never stopped loving you, I confessed. Her breath hitched. Say it again. I never stopped loving you. She kissed me like she'd been waiting a decade. The crowd cheered as a burst of white fireworks filled the sky, but for once Willow Creek wasn't watching. It was just us. The next morning, Lily walked into the hardware store with a determined look. I have an idea, she announced. That sounds expensive. Hush. She spread blueprints across the counter. A community space, she explained. Workshops, art classes, small business meetups. We can renovate the empty building next door. That place is falling apart. So was I, she said lightly. You fixed me. I didn't fix you. You steadied me. I studied the papers. You'd stay? I asked. Yeah, for good. She met my eyes. For us. I felt something settle deep in my chest. Okay, I said. Let's build it. She grinned. You always did fix things. Not everything, I said. She reached across the counter and laced her fingers with mine. This time, she whispered, We fix it together. The renovation took months. We argued about paint colors. Yellow feels hopeful, she insisted. It feels like a banana, I countered. We compromised on soft cream. We worked late into the evenings, covered in dust and possibility. One night, sitting on the unfinished floor, she leaned against me. Do you think we're crazy? I asked. Probably. Good, she said. I was worried it was just me. I kissed the top of her head. You know, she murmured, I used to think love was supposed to sweep you off your feet. And now I think it's supposed to anchor you. I tightened my arm around her. Then stay anchored, I said. I plan to. The grand opening drew half the town. Mrs. Donnelly cried. Abby hung fairy lights in the windows. Lily stood in the center of the room, surrounded by neighbors and laughter. She caught my eye across the crowd. Hey, she mouthed. Hey, I replied. Later, when everyone had gone home, we locked up together. She looked around the quiet space. We did this, she said softly. We did. She turned to me. I'm glad you stayed, she said. I'm glad you came back. She smiled. Guess we were both brave in our own ways. I pulled her close.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts.